on the topic or the show?
Well, good afternoon, first of all, to everyone on the panel, and great topic today, ladies. You guys have been doing a fantastic job, all month long. I recently subscribed this month to the channel. So my take on this whole thing is I'm going to take this away from Mr. Samuels and put this on our ways and lack of culture. So I think culture covers the list of things that you would have mentioned that we go through. And I will specifically talk about PTSD, therapy, moving the post, and the outcomes of what we want in the Black community. So if you look at other cultures, you may see that you may call them arranged marriages, or you may call it the father being the final decision maker, and if a man is ready to take on his daughter. So the power is taken out of the daughter's hand, regardless of how she thinks or if she's attracted to the man or not. The father then finds out if he's suitable. That's culture. I think what we want in America is sexual liberation around the 50s and the 40s area, where women either had to be married or they were single. So, and that devalued them. So they had to get into marriage, and barefoot pregnant, women getting an allowance, not being able to work, have a say in church, all that. But as a culture, what we don't have is the power of the father and the influence in who you want versus who you're attracted to as a daughter. And that has screwed everything up. The influence in the father's life, in the boy's choice of a woman, that has been screwed up. So sexual liberation has given us the ability to be rejected or to be picked, but that has led to PTSD. PTSD leads to many of us needing therapy after we've either been unvirginitized, you've used up your virginity and your value has gone down since, or now you're saying that you have more experience that you can give to a woman or a man because you've been around. So these choices that we have to have sexual liberation or test the market or have some experience to bring to the marriage, that's BS, because culture would take down the PSD and the therapy needed if we just go back to what the father leadership is in the home by culture. So I think culture is what screws Black men and women up.
Kenshawn, excuse me. I think you brought about some really, really good points. I wholeheartedly agree about us people being able to make their own choices, especially when it comes down to women being sexually liberated with the type of men that we chosen, but also with men not being in the home. Men in the home account for something. A man in the home is going to tell you how to choose men based off of their experiences, and with men knowing men and men knowing how to pick good men out. I think that definitely does account for something. Also, when you talk about culture, when you've taken away traditions were there for a reason, and when you've taken that out of the home, I think you do the culture and community a disservice. So I think you brought about some great points.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I just say quickly on the arranged marriage piece? I think one thing that people often leave out of the conversation is that if we're living in a society where we're having arranged marriages, it's not only going to be arranged marriages for the women, men have arranged marriages too, which means you don't necessarily have a say in who you're going to marry. So your parents would pick out a girl that they think is appropriate for you. You might not be attractive to her. You might not have that click there. So it works both ways. It's not just women who, their parents pick for them. The parents pick for the man as well. So sometimes people look at it like they're going to go out and the guy's just going to be able to select his bride and it's going to be that simple. It doesn't really always work like that. So that's something to bear in mind.
Another point is, though, with arranged marriages tend to work out far better, way less divorce filed in arranged marriages. I forget the percentages.
But is that because it's cultural? Like within those cultures, it's very taboo to to divorce. And like for a woman, like, because we know women are, I think women file for divorce 70% of the time. In those cultures, you can be ostracized, and you don't file for divorce definitely for something like irreconcilable differences. Like,
Right.
So that could be
So-
that it,
Right. So my question to the men and the women is, why do you want to be able to play the field and then come back and call that experience when that's actually toxic? When you can just, people will say, well, I don't want to know a person for 6 months and then have to get married to them. I don't have my full livelihood to go out and test the milk. Well, I can say you can get hurt the same way by testing the milk, and you're going to get hurt the same way with having one marriage from your teenage years. Either way, you're going to learn the person when you live with them. It's better off you living with the first person that you live with, losing your virginity that way, than going through PTSD and needing therapy the other way.
And say you don't bring about a good point.